Good afternoon. The title, promotion, playoff and relegation issues are centre stage. Final score will chart the closing stages of all this afternoon's football matches. Gavin, Peacock, Gary, Pallister and Garth, Crooks are paying close attention to the Barclays Premier League game starting to draw to a conclusion. The relegation issue is centre stage. But first up this afternoon, White Hart Lane. David Garrido watching the Tottenham-Middlesbrough match.
Spurs 1, Middlesbrough 1 now, Ray. Stuart Downing has just put Borough back on level terms. He was given far too much time and space and rifled a left-foot shot through a static Spurs defence and into the bottom right-hand corner. Keeper Radek Cherny motionless and helpless. That one worth watching again on Match of the Day tonight. Dimitar Berbatov has hit a post since the break, and his excellent improvisation helped put Spurs ahead in the first half. Ball juggling and then a loop cross causing confusion. The ball put through his own net by the unfortunate Jonathan Grounds. But Downing has made it 1-1 here at White Hart Lane.
A goal for Blackpool, who aren't safe in the Championship, but Cardiff may well be going to the Cup final and playoff final if things keep going their way. 5 points in the playoffs, they have a game in hand. Back to the Barclays Premier League, fourth bottom Birmingham playing an Everton side, hoping they'll finish the season fourth top. If Birmingham finish fourth bottom, they'll be delighted. Damien Johnson has the latest news from St Andrews.
Birmingham 0, Everton 0, stalemate so far, but it's all Birmingham. Cameron Jerome hit the post with a header. Skipper Liam Ridgewell, an awful miss in the second half, volleying over the bar from 2 yards out with the goal as his mercy. Everton's Tim Howard produced a brilliant double save to deny Jaidi and McFadden in quick succession. Everton look like their season's running out of steam. It's 0-0 here.
Bolton kicked off third bottom, recent form of 7 defeats in 8, 4 points from safety. 10th place West Ham, their opponent at the Reebok. Andrew James reporting.
Bolton 1, West Ham 0. Think of Bolton and you think of Kevin Davies. He's got the goal that separates the two sides. Soon after the restart, it was his header that was turned away by Green. From the corner that followed, Davies turned it in. He had 2 first-half headers headed off the line, and he could also have had a goal for himself, which Juve tapped over the line, but from an offside position, Ray. It's Bolton 1, West Ham 0.
That would be a massive win for Bolton. Victory for Reading today would ease their relegation fears. For opponents Fulham, the situation they can't afford to lose. Tony Lockwood watching the game between fifth bottom and second bottom.
Reading 0, Fulham 1, and Fulham deserve their single goal lead. Skipper Brian McBride with the only goal. A Simon Davis cross swept home by McBride midway through the first half. McBride has hit the bar. Jimmy Bullard's corner has been headed against the bar by Breda Hangeland, and a moment ago Bullard's free kick, and there again was an opportunity for Fulham. Bullard's free kick coming back off the underside of the bar. Don't know how they haven't added to their lead, but they deserve to be in front of Madejski. Reading 0, Fulham 1.
Charlton need to win, really, if they're going to have any chance of the playoffs in the Championship. Southampton need points because they're too near the relegation places in the Championship. Thanks to 3 successive wins, Sunderland are safe in the Premier League. And that's not what the maths or Roy Keane thinks, but Sunderland are going to stay up. 9th place Manchester City, the visitors at the Stadium of Light. Steve Sutton reporting.
Still 0-0, Ray, but we're witnessing the now familiar second half charge of the Stadium of Light Brigade. The crowd are loving it, but we're lacking a little bit of quality in front of goal, it has to be said, but it's exciting stuff, but it is goalless.
Well, to avoid the lowest ever Premier League points total, Derby needed 5 points from 5 matches going into home game with Aston Villa. What they didn't need to do was concede 5 goals this afternoon. All going wrong again for Derby. Ivan Gaskell.
Yes, Villa have just made it 5. Gabi Agbon-Lahore. Just when Derby thought it couldn't get any worse, along came Aston Villa. A quite enough start. It went badly wrong from midway through the first half. Ashley Young, Carew, brilliantly Stilian Petrov. Now Gareth Barry, and latterly, in just the last few seconds, Gabi Agbon-Lahore, adding to Derby's embarrassment. Villa fans goading them with a full-blown rendition of "We'll Meet Again." It's a shame Vera Lynn isn't here. She'd probably get a game.
Portsmouth-Newcastle kicks off at 5:15. Then tomorrow, the next episode of the story in the race, the Premier League title race. Manchester United versus Arsenal, first against third. Also tomorrow, Liverpool play Blackburn. Second place Chelsea play Wigan on Monday. Well, what an afternoon. It could all change round relegation-wise if Bolton and Fulham win, completely change the complexion of things.
And those results you wouldn't have predicted. I mean, Fulham just don't win away from home, do they? And yet today they could have had more goals, Ray. I mean, you just wonder if McBride had been fit for a bigger part of the season, and Healy, who's up front with him, has been very lively as well. If they'd had that, they wouldn't have been in the trouble that
it's going to get even worse as well for Birmingham if Everton score a goal at St Andrews.
Oh, Well, that's right. I mean, Birmingham are making most of the play in the second half and have been a bigger threat than Everton. They've been a bit lacklustre, I think, Everton. But Bolton's the one as well for me that Kevin Davies has been an inspiration for them today. He's led the line ever so well. He's scored the goal. He's had one ruled off for offside. I think he's hit the post as well. He's been a talismanic figure for them today.
Last few weeks we've been saying Bolton and Fulham doesn't look like any chance. But all of a sudden, in around about sort of 20 minutes' time, if they both win today with momentum, we'll be starting to say they're going to get out of trouble.
It's as though reality has dawned on both of these teams. I mean, Fulham are playing with a freedom that I've not seen for a long time. And actually, it's getting even more interesting at Andrews because Everton have scored.
There's been another goal. It's a key goal. It's been scored at St Andrews. Damien Johnson watching the Birmingham-Everton match.
You were tempting fate. Everton have indeed scored. It's Jolyon Lescott. He's been such a big contributor of goals for Everton this season. The ball pinged around the area. It was Lescott who got the final touch over the defenders. Heartbreak for Birmingham. It's 1-0 Everton lead.
Wycombe 2-1 up away at MK Dons. MK Dons aren't going to be promoted this afternoon, it would appear. So what about that? Birmingham are now right back in trouble. They're only a point away from a relegation place.
It's a tremendous leap by Yakubu. Puts it back into the 6-yard box area, and Lescott, who's been threatening for the best part of the game, gets the final touch. Leaves Birmingham on 30 points, but as it stands, Bolton are on 29, and as it stands, Fulham on 22nd. So the gap's closing, and people will start to feel the pressure.
Fulham 3 points from safety now. I mean, you know, and with the confidence that will breed within the camp. I mean, I can't quite believe it because I thought I had this sorted last week and I knew it was going down, but now I'm not sure at all.
Well, Reading also have been poor today. I mean, Fulham should be beating them 3 and 4. I mean, that's got to be a worry for Steve Coppell at home. Such an important game, and they haven't really turned up today.
Goals scored in the next 10 or 15 minutes are going to be absolutely priceless. No SPL games today, but Andy Gillies watched the Scottish Cup semi-final between First Division Queen of the South and Premier League Aberdeen. An incredible game of football.
An extraordinary game. An extraordinary result. Queen of the South led 4 times, Aberdeen levelled 3 times. 5 goals were scored in 12 minutes at the start of the second half, until finally the Queen of the South defence were able to shut up shop and hold out. Tosh opened the scoring in the first half, Considine equalised. Then Burns, O'Connor and Stewart scored the underdogs' goals at the start of the second period. Nicholson and Considine twice equalised, but Stewart's goal proved decisive, and for the first time in their history, Queen of the South are in the Scottish Cup final.
Well played, Queen of the South. It's Rangers versus Partick tomorrow in the quarter-final replay. The winners are going to play St Johnstone, the other semi-final. And with the Rangers already through to the semi-finals of the UEFA Cup, having won the League Cup with a good lead in the SPL, and well, they're in with a chance of winning 4 trophies. Who gets promoted up into the SPL can be decided today. Division 1 leaders Hamilton have to win. Second place Dundee lose. Ian Turner's following the Hamilton end of things.
No championship or promotion for Hamilton this week, but they will secure another vital 3 points. Offiong, MacArthur and Mensing had all netted by the 46th minute, and now both sides are just looking forward to the final whistle. Livingston 0, Hamilton 3.
So with Dundee winning, it's not going to be happening this afternoon for Hamilton. To the Stadium of Light, a goal, Steve Sutton.
Yes, Ray, and it's gone against the play in this second half. Certainly it's gone to Manchester City. A penalty in the 78th minute. Ilano, the scorer, after Sturridge went down under a tackle from Nyron Nosworthy. Nosworthy absolutely distraught that it was awarded. I've seen a replay. I'm not convinced there was any contact between Nosworthy and Sturridge. Mr. Riley thought otherwise, and Ilano converted the penalty. 1-0 Man City.
Manchester City won 3 of 16 going into this game. 10 points from the relegation places going into this match. Sunderland aren't going to go down. I know the maths say they still can, but that's not going to happen, is it, despite a defeat today?
No, I think that the teams below them have got too much ground to make up. And Sunderland, and there's lots of games on there. Well, there's 4 games left on the map for Sunderland. But the penalty was a very interesting one. It looked like Nosworthy was clumsy.
If Birmingham get beaten this afternoon, how do they pick themselves up for the remainder of the season?
Well, they've got some difficult games, Birmingham, as well. I think they're away at... no, they've got Liverpool and Blackburn at home. They've got a big derby match against Villa away next week, so they've got some tough times ahead as well.
Yeah, the Fulham game in two games' time is massive now.
OK, let's turn our attention to the Coca-Cola Championship now. West Bromwich Albion against Watford, first against fifth, kicks off at 5:20. So tight for the automatic promotion places, so tight for the playoff places. Bristol City playing Wolves, who are fighting for a playoff place. Second versus eighth, the kick-off. Hamish Marshall.
0-0. I think this one sums up this season's championship, as neither side can land a knockout blow. Wolves have looked the more likely. George Olofinjana has twice shot just wide, and Andy Keogh saw a 25-yard volley tipped over. Bristol City, though, have been denied by Wolves keeper Wayne Hennessy on 3 occasions, and Steve Brooker has twice just been off target. Wolves have just brought on Freddie Eastwood. He hasn't scored since August. What a time it would be to end the drought. 0-0 at Ashton Gate.
Stoke's bid to return to the top flight of English football for the first time since 1985 has taken them to Coventry, who can't be sure of dropping down into the third tier. Mark Bishop.
And Ray, Stoke City are one step nearer returning to the top flight for the first time in 23 years, because they have taken the lead against Coventry. Liam Lawrence has come off the substitutes bench. Terrific cross, far side of the box. Lawrence made no mistakes, smashing the ball past Schmeichel. And all this after Stoke City had been 1-0 down to that Elliot Ward penalty. Stoke came back into it in this thrilling second half. Terrific penalty it was from Fuller. It's now 2-1 to Stoke.
Goals being scored all around the country at the Stadium of Light. Steve Sutton.
Yes, Ray, it's Sunderland 1, Manchester City 1. Dean Whitehead with the reply just a couple of minutes after City had converted a penalty. The ball was crossed from the left side, and Whitehead with a side foot volley thundered into the back of the net. It's 1-1.
Let's sprint to St Andrews, where there's been another goal in the Birmingham-Everton game. Damien Johnson reporting.
Yes, it's 1-1. Birmingham have the equaliser that they deserve on their domination of the play so far. Mauro Zarate, the substitute, with a fantastic free kick. Carsley conceded the free kick on the edge of the area for a handball. Zarate curled the ball over and into the net. It's 1-1.
7 minutes to go. How priceless could that goal prove to be come the end of the season? It might only be 1 point, but it could be the difference.
Oh, it could. It could mean everything to them. And Zarate, the goal scorer, has been a real live wire for them in recent weeks. I mean, that's crucial. Just opens it up a little bit more for them and gives them a bit of breathing space. And now they've got the momentum and going forward and look likely to win.
But Gary, it's damage limitation, because this home game against Everton was a chance to get 3 points and get themselves a lot nearer the safety point. They're now within a defeat of getting into the relegation places themselves.
Yeah, but I think Alex McLeish should be reasonably pleased with their performance. Them have been, chasing Everton around the pitch and making things difficult for them. It was a shock to see them going behind, really. When you do go down like that and you're in the position there, you look for a response, and eventually Alex McLeish got that.
For Fulham this afternoon, we can't underestimate what this would be for Fulham this afternoon, Garth, and also what it would do to Reading as well, because suddenly they're right back in it.
Yeah, Reading will be fighting for their lives now. I mean, at the moment they're currently on 32 points. Birmingham now could look like they've got 3, and Bolton are winning, and Fulham. So it's getting very tasty now.
Well, it's not very amusing for Derby fans this season, and it does just keep going from bad to worse and even worse. Ivan Gaskell.
It's getting beyond a joke, really. Derby 0, Aston Villa 6. Feed the hare and he will score, the Aston Villa supporters are singing. He came on as a sub, did Marlon Harewood. He's just broken clear and taken a one-on-one opportunity with some ease. It's Derby 0, Aston Villa 6.
And back to the Championship. Let's hear about 4th placed Hull versus 14th placed Queen's Park Rangers. Story of the game so far from Natalie Jackson.
QPR leading by a controversial first half goal, which may or may have not been over the line. Hull have looked edgy in the first half, but are really starting to assert themselves now. Substitute Caleb Forlan has had 2 great chances, a header which went wide and a shot stopped by QPR keeper Camp. Hull haven't been in the top flight for 104 years, and after a recent run of brilliant form, the pressure just seems to be telling here a bit today. Hull 0, QPR 1.
West Bromwich Albion play Watford in a 5:20 kick-off. Crystal Palace held 6th place and a playoff place when today's games got going. 8 matches unbeaten. If they beat Scunthorpe, it confirms Scunthorpe will be relegated. Andy Barber with the latest news from Selhurst Park.
And Palace trying to protect their place in that playoff zone. They lead 2-0 here thanks to the first half goals from Tom Sawes, his 5th of the season, and a 15th of the campaign from Clinton Morrison. Credit, though, to Scunthorpe, who have not let their heads drop in this second half, despite that trap door creaking open. Latest score, Palace 2, Scunthorpe 0.
With Colchester relegated in midweek, the question is, who's going to join them in League One next season? Could be Leicester. Third bottom at kick-off. They're playing Colchester at the Walker Stadium. Alan Biggs reporting.
Yeah, Colchester are gone. Leicester are going on this bleak performance. Ian Hume just missing a golden chance. He's on as substitute. The crowd were with Leicester in the opening half, but they really turned on them in the second. And we saw a middle-aged man run across the pitch in a solo protest, try to hand in his season ticket before being dragged away by stewards. Shortly after that, Kevin Lisby rewarded Colchester's mounting adventure, scoring from close range. And Leicester, while they've had the pressure, they've had no penetration. Their performance going from bad to worse. Leicester 0, Colchester 1.
In League One, the Doncaster-Swindon result last night means Swansea need a win at fourth bottom Gillingham to confirm promotion. Steve Houghton reporting.
And they are almost there, Ray. 2.5 minutes of normal time to play. They lead by 2 goals to 1. Guillaume Bowser's 2 goals in the final 2 minutes of the first half put Swansea into the lead. They've been rocked back through an awful lot of this game. They fell behind to Dennis Ollie in the first half, and in the second period, Simeon Jackson's gone close on a number of occasions. Gillingham unfortunate to be trailing, but they do so by 2 goals to 1.
Well, Swansea looks like they're going up. In League Two, victory for MK Dons at home to 7th place Wycombe confirms their promotion up into League One, although Wycombe have everything to play for, trying to hold off Chesterfield for a playoff place. Harry Gratian reporting.
Well, no party yet here, because MK Dons equalise on 72 with Aaron Wilbraham's close-range shot, but they were behind seconds later. Scott McLeish, after his first half header, then produced a fabulous 25-yard volley, his 25th league goal of the season. Indeed, Facey could have made it 3 just a few seconds ago.
The Dons have to wait a little longer for promotion. Back to the Stadium of Light, Sunderland playing Manchester City. Steve Sutton.
Another goal, Ray. It's Sunderland 1, Manchester City 2. It's gone to Man City substitute Darius Vassell. Sunderland failed to clear. The ball was fed through to Vassell into the penalty area. He scuffed his shot, did his best to miss it, but it crept over the line. It's Man City 2, Sunderland 1.
We laughed at the Intertoto Cup a few years ago, but now a lot of Premier League clubs are desperate to get into it as a route into the UEFA Cup, and that's why City are giving it everything.
You're quite right, but not without a help of good referee. Mike Riley has played the best advantage I've seen this season, because it was his advantage that allowed Vassell to go on and score the goal, and he was absolutely right to do it.
What do you think, Gary? Intertoto Cup was... We did make a joke of it a few years ago, but yeah. Aston Villa, Blackburn, City now desperately want to get there.
Clubs are desperate to get into Europe by any means. I mean, I've never been a great fan of it. I think players, the rest they get between the end of the season and the start of the next season is not long enough. And I think teams that are in it, they've got to play almost as soon as they come back into training.
Still time for scorelines to change, still time for vital goals to be scored. Let's go to St Andrews. Damien Johnson watching the Birmingham-Everton match.
It's still 1-1, but Everton just had a great chance to take the lead again. Phil Neville, rather, in the penalty area, miscontrolled the ball. It came back to him, fired in the shot, just blocked a last ditch by a Birmingham defender. Birmingham hanging on here, it's 1-1.
A goal's been scored at the Walker Stadium, a goal that I think may well take Leicester out of the bottom 3. Alan Biggs.
An equaliser for Leicester, which didn't look like coming. Substitute Ian Hume has headed home from close range after a cross from the light had been headed on by Lee Hendry, and Leicester might even have time to win this. We're in the last minute of the game. An equaliser scarcely deserved on their second half performance, but Hume has levelled. It's 1-1.
Hamilton have won at Livingston, but they have to wait for promotion because Dundee have won this afternoon too. Goal in the Madejski Stadium. Reading against Fulham. Which way's it gone? Tony Lockwood.
It's gone to Fulham. It's gone to their substitute, Eric Nevlin, with a right foot strike. It's thoroughly deserved. McBride with a first, Nevlin with a second. 3 times they've hit the bar. And for the first time since September 2006, they will win away in the Premier League. Time added on. Reading 0, Fulham 2.
First win in 34 games away from home. Crewe give themselves a great chance of staying up in League One. What a turnaround for Fulham, Gavin.
Quite amazing, well-deserved. They've played good football, as poor as Reading have been. Fulham have been really good. You just wonder, it's going to be too little too late. You look at their remaining fixtures, they've got Liverpool next week at home, playing for something. Man City away, playing for something. Birmingham at home, huge. Portsmouth away, last game of the season, obviously Portsmouth in the cup final. Might be something, I think it could be too late by then. I think it's just not enough.
You've got it.
Reading back in trouble now. Bolton against West Ham now. Andrew James. Bolton kicking off third bottom.
Yeah, still Bolton 1, West Ham 0, Ray. It's been all Bolton, really. West Ham have showed very little. It's been the Kevin Davis show. I'll tell you more about it in a moment as we're in the last minute now of stoppage time. Bolton 1, West Ham 0.
Sunderland, Manchester City. Let's get back to the Stadium of Light. Steve Sutton, any developments?
It's still Sunderland 1, Manchester City 2, Ray, but what most clubs don't want to see when they come to the Stadium of Light this season, the referee signalled 4 minutes added on time. Could there yet be another twist in this game? 2-1 Man City.
And to White Hart Lane, David Garrido following the Tottenham-Middlesbrough match.
Still 1-1. Borough should be 2-1 up there. Beautifully weighted ball from Adam Johnson to put Afonso Alves 1-on-1. He rolled his shot just past the far post as Radek Cherny came out. Moments later, goalmouth scrambled, 2 shots charged down, and Jeremy Ali-Adier fired just wide. Spurs are hanging on for a point right now. It's 1-1.
Final whistlers going all round the country. Video printer confirming final whistlers gone at Pride Park in the Derby-Aston Villa game. And Derby will be delighted the final whistlers gone to save themselves from any further punishment. No win in 28, relegated, going to get the lowest ever Premier League points total. But Aston Villa on their way into the Intertoto Cup, they hope. Ivan Gaskell.
Yes, Derby 0, Aston Villa 6. If it had been a boxing match, it would have been stopped a long time ago. A fortnight after Easter, Christmas came early for Aston Villa against a Derby side putting on another pantomime performance with terrible reviews. Roy Carroll played ugly sister to Villa's Cinderellas. Young, Carew, Barry, Agbon, Lahore, Harewood, all cashing in. Stilian Petrov's audacious half volley from very nearly the centre circle embarrassed Carroll and stole the show. We'll meet again, chorused the Aston Villa fans. On this evidence, not for a very long time they won't. Derby 0, Aston Villa 6.
And let's go to the Reebok. After taking 1 point from 24, they kicked off third bottom in the table. Bolton have won. They've beaten West Ham. It's a crucial victory for them. Andrew James.
Yes, Bolton 1, West Ham 0. Ray is the final score. As legends go, he's known that love twice. But if Bolton do survive the drop, they'll owe a huge debt of gratitude to Kevin Davis. He scored the winning goal early in the second half after seeing 2 first-half efforts headed off the line. A third scoring chance was ruled out when Juve tapped in a goal-bound Davis header, but from an offside position. Add to that a dislocated finger and a harsh yellow card, and you have some idea of the contribution of Kevin Davis. Not a lot to say about West Ham. Their fans summed it up with a chant, and I'll paraphrase it: we're poor, but we're staying up.
A famous victory this afternoon as well for Fulham. No win in 33 away matches when they went to the Majeski Stadium to play Reading, who are also now in deep, deep trouble. But Fulham have given themselves a chance. Tony Lockwood.
And a thoroughly deserved victory. They played this afternoon, Ray, with a freedom and a newfound belief. McBride and Nevland scored the goals, but 3 times they hit the crossbar. Bullard, McBride and Hangeland all deserved to score. All 3 came back off the crossbar. Deserved and hugely significant for Roy Hodgson's side. Just a glimmer of hope. Reading 0, Fulham 2.
Let's go to St Andrews. Birmingham have got a point. Not good, but the situation could have been a whole lot worse. Fourth bottom Birmingham playing Everton this afternoon. Damien Johnson.
Yes, Birmingham 1, Everton 1. A spectacular free kick from substitute Mauro Zarate. The equaliser for Birmingham that may well prove crucial in the final reckoning. Everton went ahead in the second half entirely against the run of play. A header from Jolyon Lescott, his 9th of the season. Great contribution that from a defender. It had been all Birmingham before that. Jerome hit the post. Liam Ridgewell blazed over from 2 yards out with the goal as his mercy. A candidate for miss of the season, that one. Tim Howard twice saved Everton before they won a free kick. Birmingham, and up stepped Zarate with that crucial goal to salvage a point for Birmingham.
Just to confirm this afternoon that Swansea are promoted from League One into the Championship. Congratulations to the Swans. Last time in the second tier was 1984. To the Stadium of Light, Sunderland against Manchester City. Final whistle report from Steve Sutton.
Well, we waited almost 80 minutes for the first goal, Ray. When it came, it was against the run of play. Nyron Nosworthy of Sunderland, judged to have brought down Sturridge in the area. Ilano scored from the penalty spot. 1-0 City. Within a couple of minutes, Dean Whitehead had crisply side-footed a volley to bring Sunderland level. But then just a few minutes after that, referee Mike Riley allowed play to go on, played advantage. Darius Vassell, a substitute, was in the box. He scuffed his shot, but there was enough on it to make it 2-1 to Manchester City.
Off the bottom of the video printer, Scunthorpe are relegated from the Championship into League One. We're at White Hart Lane for a final whistle report from David Garrido on the Tottenham-Middlesbrough match.
Spurs 1, Middlesbrough 1, yet another case of Tottenham taking the lead but not keeping it. Such energy and creativity in the first half, and they got their reward as an unlucky ricochet from Jonathan Grounds put the ball over his own line after superb improvisation from Dimitar Berbatov. The Bulgarian also hit a post in the second half, but Borough were really the stronger side after the break. Stuart Downing's 8th of the season, a fierce strike from distance, and they could have nicked it at the end through Alves, Tunchai and Ali Adier. It's finished Spurs 1, Middlesbrough 1.
Burnley's playoff chances appear to have gone with a home defeat by Sheffield United in the Championship. Final whistle at Ashton Gate. Bristol City 0, Wolverhampton Wanderers 0. Bristol kicked off second, Wolves in 8th place, trying to just sneak their way into the playoffs. A late goal in the Championship in the Hull Queen's Park Rangers match. Natalie Jackson.
And Michael Turner has scored a crucial goal for Hull here. There was a brilliant cross from Caleb Forlan, who came on as a substitute and has been the difference for Hull this half. And Turner flicked it into the back of the net. Hull have not been in the top flight for 104 years, and that goal could be crucial. Hull 1, QPR 1.
Congratulations to Swansea, who are promoted back into the Championship. Steve Houghton reporting.
Yes, Ray, this wonderful year of Welsh sporting achievement continues, and you can hear what the 1,500 or so Swansea City fans think. They've beaten Gillingham by 2-1. They didn't play well, but the Spaniard Guillaume Bowser scored twice in the closing moments of the first half to haul them in front, and they clung on against a plucky Gillingham side. Swansea City will be playing Championship football next season.
Founder members of the Football League, Notts County, kicked off third bottom in League Two. And that's a very important home win against Accrington Stanley this afternoon, trying to move themselves away from the bottom two relegation places. Bristol City against Wolverhampton Wanderers now. Key game of the Championship as far as promotion is concerned. Hamish Marshall.
Yeah, finished goalless, Ray. Both sides needed a win, and that gave us a barnstorming finish. Wolves had an effort cleared off the line and a decent-looking penalty claim turned down, and Liam Fontaine saw a shot go just wide for City. The visitors will feel they deserved the win, but the goal-scoring problems which blighted the middle of their season may have returned just at the wrong time. Bristol City have now won just 1 in 8. How they're still up there in the race for promotion sums up this Championship season.
In League Two, Stockport have won at Peterborough, which is a key result as far as Stockport are concerned, and it stops Peterborough getting promoted today. But the MK Dons still have a chance in the closing minutes at home to Wickham of securing promotion. Harry Gratian.
Unbelievable here. We're into 5 minutes of added time, and Sean O'Hanlon has equalised for the MK Dons with a header. Frank Finnan, the goalkeeper of Wickham, was not happy. He said he was impeded. The goal stands. They're still playing 2-2.
So drama this afternoon as far as MK Dons are concerned. Coventry against Stoke now. Coventry fighting for points to get away from the relegation places. Stoke, one of the teams involved in the fight for the automatic promotion places. Mark Bishop.
It's finished. Coventry 1, Stoke City 2, Ray. Tony Pulis must have given the team talk of his life at the break after Coventry led through an Elliott Wall penalty at half-time. Stoke came roaring out of the traps for the second half. They were magnificent. Ricardo Fuller's penalty made it 1 apiece, and then Liam Lawrence came off the bench to drill the ball past Schmeichel from close range to send 3,000 Stoke fans into absolute rapture. Coventry 1, Stoke City 2.
MK Dons have drawn, got away for promotion. Not a question of if, it's when, but it's not this afternoon. Final whistle in the Hull Queen's Park Rangers match. Natalie Jackson.
It's finished Hull 1, QPR 1. A late equaliser by Michael Turner, the story of the game. He flicked his goal into the back of the net. Hull deserve it after a decision in the first half. A goal which the assistant decided was in after we just couldn't decide whether it was over the line or not. So a crucial point here today for Hull. Hull 1, QPR 1.
Stoke are top of the table. West Bromwich Albion can move into the automatic promotion places if they beat Watford. First against fifth kicks off at 5:20. Also in the Championship, Scunthorpe are relegated. Crystal Palace, as things stand in the playoff places. Andy Barwell.
3 points for Palace, a 2-0 win here in that promotion push under that wily old campaigner Neil Warnock. The scorers Tom Sawes and Clinton Morrison to take an unbeaten run to 9 games. Scunthorpe's Championship adventure just going to be 1 season long, a 6 successive away defeat for them. Full-time, Crystal Palace 2, Scunthorpe 0.
Quite an afternoon, as always. All the results just about in. Time for Tim Gudgeon to confirm the final scores.
Opening with the Barclays Premier League, Birmingham City 1, Everton 1. Bolton Wanderers 1, West Ham United 0. Derby County 0, Aston Villa 6. Portsmouth and Newcastle United have an evening match kicking off in a few minutes. Reading 0, Fulham 2. Sunderland 1, Manchester City 2. Tottenham Hotspur 1, Middlesbrough 1. In the Coca-Cola Championship, Bristol City 0, Wolverhampton Wanderers 0. Burnley 1, Sheffield United 2. Cardiff City 3, Blackpool 1. Charlton Athletic 1, Southampton 1. Coventry City 1, Stoke City 2. Crystal Palace 2, Scunthorpe United 0. Hull City 1, Queen's Park Rangers 1. Leicester City 1, Colchester United 1. Preston North End 1, Barnsley 2. West Bromwich Albion and Watford have an evening kick-off. Coca-Cola League 1, Bournemouth 2, Bristol Rovers 1. Cheltenham Town 1, Walsall 2. Gillingham 1, Swansea City 2. Hartlepool United 0, Millwall 1. Leeds United 3, Carlisle United 2. Luton Town 1, Brighton and Hove Albion 2. Oldham Athletic 2, Leyton Orient 0. Port Vale 0, Huddersfield Town 0. Southend United 1, Northampton Town 1. Tranmere Rovers 0, Nottingham Forest 2. Yeovil Town 0, Crewe Alexandra 3. League 2, Barnet 3, Bury 0. Brentford 2, Bradford City 2. Chester City 1, Lincoln City 2. Dagenham and Redbridge 1, Rochdale 1. Darlington 0, Hereford United 1. Grimsby Town 0, Rotherham United 1. Macclesfield Town 0, Mansfield Town 0. Milton Keynes Dons 2, Wycombe Wanderers 2. Morecambe 1, Chesterfield 1. Notts County 1, Accrington Stanley 0. Peterborough United 0, Stockport County 1. In the Blue Square Premier, Aldershot Town 1, Burton Albion 0. Altrincham 3, Salisbury 1. Cambridge United 1, Stafford Rangers 2. Crawley Town 1, Weymouth 1. Droylson's match with Ebbsfleet United postponed. Exeter City 2, Northwich Victoria 1. Forest Green Rovers 0, Rushton and Diamonds 1. Grays Athletic 3, Halifax Town 3. Kidderminster Harriers 1, Histon 1. Oxford United 5, Farsley Celtic 1. Stevenage Borough 1, Torquay United 3. York City 2, Woking 3. The Scottish Cup semi-final, Queen of the South 4, Aberdeen 3. The Ownbury Scottish Division 1, Dundee 3, Stirling Albion 0. Dunfermline Athletic 2, Clyde 1. Livingston 1, Hamilton Academical 3. St Johnstone 3, Morton 2. Scottish Div 2, Airdrie United's match with Cowdenbeath postponed. Alloa Athletic 2, Ross County 0. Berwick Rangers and Queen's Park postponed. Peterhead 4, Ayr United 1. Wraith Rovers 1, Brechin City 1. In Scottish Div 3, Arbroath 0, East Stirling 1. Dumbarton 0, Montrose 0. Elgin City 2, Stranraer 3. Forfar Athletic 1, Albion Rovers 4. Stenhousemuir 0, East Fife 1. In the Welsh Premier, Carnarvon 1, Aberystwyth 0. Carmarthen 0, Portmarnock 0. Connors Quay 0, Llanelli 1. Haverfordwest 1, Welshpool Town 0. Neath 2, Casus 2. Newtown 1, Newry Kevin Druids 0. And Rhyl 5, Port Talbot 0.
We'll hear the thoughts of Gavin, Gary and Garth on all today's results in the minutes to come. First, there's the updated league tables. The Barclays Premier League. None of the top four were in action today. Leaders Manchester United play third place Arsenal at Old Trafford tomorrow. Chelsea host Wigan at Stamford Bridge on Monday night. And Liverpool are at home to Blackburn tomorrow. Everton missed the chance to draw level with Liverpool in the battle for the fourth Champions League spot. Their 1-1 draw at Birmingham means Liverpool are 2 points ahead of them with a game in hand. Already relegated, Derby suffered their 25th defeat of the season. And what a defeat, losing 6-0 at home to Aston Villa. Fulham's first away win September 2006, 2-0 at Reading, has given Roy Hodgson's team hope, but they're still 4 points short of safety. Bolton also picked up a crucial win. Their 1-0 success against West Ham means they're now just 2 points behind Birmingham, who drew with Everton. Reading have also been sucked back into it after that defeat against Fulham. They're 3 points from the drop zone and with an inferior goal difference. In the Coca-Cola Championship, the Championship leaders swapped hands again. Stoke City are back on top after beating Coventry. Bristol City could have gone top but were held to a draw by Wolverhampton and stay a point behind in second. West Brom can regain the top spot if they beat Watford in the late kick-off. Colchester were relegated in midweek and Scunthorpe will join them in League One next season. The Irons defeated Crystal Palace means they've been sent back down after just one season in the Championship. Leicester's last gasp draw moves them out of the relegation zone on goal difference at the expense of Sheffield Wednesday, who play Plymouth on Monday. Coca-Cola League One, Swansea back in the second tier of English football for the first time since 1984. They clinched promotion after coming from behind to beat Gillingham at Priestfield. Second place Carlisle beaten 3-2 at Leeds, a result which keeps Leeds firmly in the playoff places. Doncaster kept in the hunt for an automatic promotion place when they beat Swindon last night. Nottingham Forest up to fourth. They won 2-0 at Tranmere Rovers to all but guarantee a playoff spot. Luton's second successive relegation is confirmed after they lost at home to Brighton. Port Vale have also been relegated this afternoon after being held 0-0 at home by Huddersfield. Bournemouth's late revival continued with victory over Bristol Rovers, their fourth straight win, but they're still 6 points short of the safety mark. Gillingham still occupy the final relegation spot after losing at home to Swansea. Coca-Cola League Two. MK Dons and Peterborough could both have clinched promotion today, but the champagne stays on ice for both teams. MK Dons drew with Wickham, while Stockport beat Peterborough. Hereford kept their hopes of automatic promotion alive with victory at Darlington. The bottom side, Wrexham, play tomorrow. Mansfield still occupy the other relegation spot after their draw at Macclesfield. Notts County edged closer to safety by beating Accrington, a result that pushes Dagenham and Redbridge down to 22nd. Blue Square Premier League. Aldershot's return to the Football League will have to wait a few more days. Gary Waddock's side have led the table for the last 6 months, beat Burton Albion 1-0, but second place Torquay also won to put Aldershot's celebrations on hold. Stafford Rangers and Droylsden already relegated, incredibly tight for the other two relegation spots. Northwich Victoria and Weymouth currently occupy the other two relegation places. Iron Brew Scottish Division 1. Top two both won, which means that Hamilton can't celebrate promotion yet. Hamilton won at Livingston, but Dundee beat already relegated Stirling Albion, meaning that Hamilton need just one win from their remaining 2 games to guarantee promotion. Scottish Division 2, Ross County already earned the right to be promoted as champions. Second place Erdry's match with Cowdenbeath was called off, as was Berwick against Queen's Park. Wouldn't have made any difference to Berwick, however. They were relegated Division 3 at the end of last month. And Scottish Division 3, East Fife clinched the title a month ago, but they show no sign of letting up. They won 1-0 at Stenhousemuir to stay 23 points clear. At the foot of the table, East Stirling moved to within a point of Farfar with victory at Arbroath. Reaction from managers and players, 2 days' results is coming up in the light of the top football stories of the day. Fulham pull their away win drought to keep their hopes of the Premier League survival alive and pull Reading deeper into the relegation scrap. Kevin Davis scored a priceless second-half winner as Bolton fight for survival. Zarate's free kick rescued a vital point for Birmingham, but they're now just 2 points above the drop zone. Just when Derby fans thought their season couldn't get any worse, Villa hit 6 at Pride Park. Sunderland's winning streak comes to an end as Manchester City enjoy a 6th straight win over the Black Cats. For once, it's a low-scoring game at Tottenham. They share the points with Middlesbrough at White Hart Lane. Borough have now drawn 4 of their last 6 league games. All the goals from all those games and the Portsmouth-Newcastle match still to be played will all be shown in Match of the Day, 10:30 start here on BBC One. Action from tomorrow's 2 Barclays Premier League games will feature in Match of the Day 2, Manchester United versus Arsenal and Liverpool versus Blackburn. Last chance for Arsenal to revive any hopes of the title. 10:20 start time on BBC One for Match of the Day 2. Well, it's been quite an afternoon. A few weeks ago, well, even last week, we said Bolton and Fulham, we were really struggling to give them any chance of staying up. It's completely changed round now.
And that's football for you. Bolton, Fulham deserve their victories. Fulham in particular, I thought. I think if Hodgson's going to survive, and there's enough games on the calendar for him to do that, he's got to continue with Healy, Bullard, McBride, because those 3 seem to transform their performance, and they're all fit. Wrap them in cotton wool, they may have a glimmer of hope.
Yeah. What was at the heart of Bolton's win today? Because they had 1 point from 24, they couldn't get a goal from anywhere, but they seem to have something in their performance today.
I think the main performance from today was Kevin Davies. We talk about the way he leads the line. He could have scored a hat-trick quite easily today. He caused problems throughout the game, and when you're in that kind of position, you need players to be leaders, and that's what he was today.
It could have been a lot worse for Birmingham when they conceded a goal to Everton in the second half. I think it was 7 minutes from time they equalised.
That's right, and Zarate, the man who's been on fire for them in recent weeks, was the man to do it. They showed character, something I think they have shown under Alec McLeish, and they're fighting away. And it's become a little bit tighter now, Ray, but I still say that I think Fulham are running out of games, and it doesn't look likely, although they'll have been given so much confidence by the away win and the way that they played today.
I just think Reading will be uneasy with the situation at the moment now, won't they?
It is, because they've lost at home today against the side they would have been expected to beat if they were going to survive. They've not done it. It sends a very bad message to the fans that are they good enough to stay in this league? There's enough games to get on the board, but we'll have to wait and see.
Birmingham, 4th bottom, 2 points from the relegation places. There's their manager, Alex McLeish, talking to Guy Mowbray after the 1-1 draw with Everton.
Alex, will you take that a point today, having been a goal behind?
Yeah, in the end, I thought we did really well second half. We had a lot of the play and some near things, and thought it's not going to be our day, and in front of goals, that is. And we defended well, but when Everton went ahead, I thought it was a cruel game. It's a cruel game, but we never gave up, and we kept encouraging the players from the sidelines, and Zarate's come up with a bit of genius again to get us an equaliser, and that point could keep us in the Premier League. So that's why the players should be getting into the next game with confidence, because they played really well today.
Having lost Larson and Forsell to injury and then going a goal behind in pretty unfortunate circumstances, did you just feel it was going to be one of those again?
Yeah, well, our resources are always going to get tested. We have got a small squad. As I keep saying, it's quite an inexperienced squad. We do have 1 or 2 old campaigners in the Premier League. And again, I can't fault the performance at St Andrews. We could perhaps do with a little bit more quality at certain parts of the game. Maybe the delivery in front of goals or whatever, and maybe defending nervously in 1 or 2 occasions. But other than that, the resilience, the effort they put in was fabulous.
And yet your side displayed the greatest touch of quality in the game through the youngest player on the pitch in Birmingham Blue, Mauro Zarate. It seems that he can't do anything wrong right now.
No, I brought James McFadden back for his experience, and it was good to have James back. You see again the talent that he has, and I decided to go with a tried and trusted Premier League striker in Michael Forsell. Their partnership has been good, and we're not got to get too carried away with Mauro and put him under too much pressure. But the kid is bursting to play. He was disappointed when I said he would be on the bench, but I'd expect that because he's got a big heart, and again, he's a terrific player.
OK, there's Birmingham's remaining fixtures. How many points are going to get, Garth?
What's key for me here is which Liverpool will turn up at St Andrews on the 26th.
Big derby match to sort out as well.
There is, but before that, you're looking at which team, who's going to give you a little sniff. If the Champions League may take priority with Liverpool, and Birmingham will be looking at that, of course Aston Villa is a major fixture.
Fulham may well now give themselves a chance, so that game away at Craven Cottage, Fulham could be firing on all cylinders.
That's a big one for me. I think they'll probably get a point against Villa. I think they'll lose against Liverpool, and then I think it'll come down to that game against Fulham.
I can't see them picking anything up against Villa. I think we saw them today. They've had their little blip. They're back in some decent form now. They've just routed Derby 6-0 there. Can't see them getting anything from that. I think you're right, Garth, with the Liverpool thing.
Well, Derby lost 6-0 at home to Aston Villa today. Very difficult to come out and talk to people after that, but here's their manager, Paul Jewell.
Paul, I suppose, so short a time after a 6-0 home defeat, it must be difficult for the manager to analyse a performance like that.
It's difficult to accept a performance like that. It's quite strange because for 20 minutes we played really well. As soon as we go a goal, get down. It might have been a foul on Roy, I don't know. But as soon as we went a goal down, you know, it's the deck of cards really collapsed. And it's been the same all season long. And it's horrible to situation that we're in. And there's no hiding place in this Premier League, and it was an uncomfortable afternoon for us, to say the least.
As you say, first 20 minutes you were on top. To concede 2 goals in the manner you did in a short space of time, it would knock the stuffing out of the best of sides, wouldn't it?
Well, it knocks the stuffing out of us, that's for sure. As soon as we go, a bit of adversity goes against us, we ain't got enough leaders really, and enough what you would call men to rally the troops together, and that's what we've got to get in. We've got to get some good quality players and some good quality people that when the going gets tough, they can roll the sleeves up. Look, at the end of the day, for 20 minutes we play well, and all of a sudden Villa get the first goal. There's a spring in their step, we couldn't get near them, and the difference in class was huge then. But up until then, there was nothing in the game. In fact, we're probably the better team. But once things go against us, we don't have any answers.
Very difficult for Derby. Well done, Paul Jewell, to come out and face everyone after that defeat. It just shows how tough it is to stay in the Premier League.
I think the interview suggests he's now becoming brutal, because he said we need quality players and quality people, which suggests he hasn't got any leaders, and the quality that he needs to come back up, he hasn't got. It's not a foregone conclusion. I don't care how much money, parachute money, you've got to bring in, you've got to get results.
I think around our little table here in the last few weeks, we were thinking it was very difficult for Fulham and Bolton to get themselves out of trouble. Great chance now.
Well, they've put themselves in with a chance, yeah.
You're not
that's
convinced?
For sure. I'm not convinced that they will do it, but it just turns around and they go into the next game, both of them, with that much more confidence, and confidence is everything at this stage.
Does momentum play a part here? Because you can't get a win anywhere, and all of a sudden you get one, and that will breed the belief that you can go on and get a few more, because another couple of wins is going to sort it out now, and everyone must be saying that.
Yeah, well, certainly for Bolton and Fulham. They've given themselves, they're in touching distance now with the teams above them. Reading are going to get in it. Reading are playing. That's the one that really can't. We're talking about Birmingham getting nervy. Reading are playing shocking at the moment.
By the way, is the title race still on? Are Arsenal going to win at Manchester United tomorrow?
I am not writing Arsenal off yet. They are capable of going to Old Trafford and getting a win. Make no mistake about that.
What does the former Manchester United centre-half think?
I think there's United are worried about the defence, but I think they'll have enough to win the game tomorrow.
How do you see it now as far as the Arsenal-Manchester United situation, and Chelsea, who are very quietly just there, right on the pace, knowing they could do the Premier League title, and who knows, there's a chance for Chelsea and Manchester United, a Premier League and Champions League?
Yeah, I think Chelsea know what they've got to do. They've got to go out to win every game. Manchester United, I think, will do it. They've got the goal advantage as well, which is worth the extra point to them. I think Arsenal give it everything, but I think United mentality will be, we won't lose this game, and I think they'll go and see out the season. And I think they've got the squad to carry on and win the Champions League.
Well, as always, you can study the updated league tables and look at forthcoming fixtures on the BBC Sport website. And can we tell you, with managers and players emerging from their dressing rooms via the red button, post-match interviews are on the way. Press the red button and follow the links to stay with us here in the Final Score studio. Our football service continues now till 6 o'clock, either via BBC or the BBC Sport website. But this is where we say goodbye to BBC One viewers. Bye for now.